Alright, this is part 3 of the future of the NBA. This is a prequel to the, actual documentary type of video, which will come out Sunday. So I'm just kind of, it's more thorough about topics. But the third player that I wanted to mention was Nikola Jokic. Now, this player is interesting because he is already the best player in the world, but he's not considered the face, even though he's been the best player in the world for probably like 3 years now, right? He's been the best player in the world for a while, but he's not considered the face. He's won, but he's not considered the face. So that brings into, criteria into question. Is the criteria to be the best player in the world? Clearly not. Is the criteria to be the best player in the world and to win? Clearly not. Is the criteria to have a personality? Well, yes and no. See, after doing this little bit of research, I realized that in the past, the media, or not just the media, but the media and the NBA needed the best player in the world to have a personality, or whoever the face of the league was to have a personality. You go back to the 60s, Wilt Chamberlain. He had a personality. He was the face of the league. The 70s, Kareem did not have a personality, much to say. He was not considered, even though he was the best player in the world, and we think about him now, at the time he wasn't really considered the face of the league in terms of marketing. That would have been Dr. J, especially after the merger, in my opinion. Now, maybe I'm wrong. If you guys grew up in that era, you can let me know if I'm wrong about that. But Dr. J had the personality. He had the flow, the flash, the style, the game that was fun to watch. It wasn't the boring skyhook. It was the flashy dunk, right? So he was considered kind of like the face of the league. Bird and Magic were fun to watch. Michael Jordan had a personality as well. Kobe had a personality. LeBron had a personality. But Kareem did not really have a personality. Now, the reason I'm saying this is in the past, right? And yet, that both the NBA and the media needed it in the past is because today the NBA itself does not need it. But you know who does? The media needs the best player in the world, or whoever the face will be, to have a personality. That's why they do not give Nikola Jokic the praise. And since they influence the masses, the people do not give Nikola Jokic the praise as the face of the league. But, that is a problem, right? Marketing matters, ratings matter. So is that an issue, though? Or could I simply make the case that because Nikola Jokic is so dominant and he is winning, that he could be a face, not in the typical way, right? For the first time ever, he can be a face in the heelish kind of way. Think about WWE, think about professional wrestling, right? They have their baby faces, they have their good guys with personalities, guys who can talk on the mic and, you could listen to talk and talk trash like The Rock or Ric Flair, for example. Then you have the quiet ones, someone like The Undertaker. Maybe Nikola Jokic and his dominance should not be viewed from the eyes of a man with personality, but a man that's so dominant that people cannot have anything but respect for him. And people who want to see him lose bring in ratings, does it not? Now, this kid is special. I'm calling him a kid, but he is much older than me. But the reason I'm bringing him up is because he really is the future of the NBA. He already is the best player in the world, and he's still young. The likelihood of him dropping off and not being the best player in the world for the next 3-4 years is very low. The only way he's not the best player in the world is if somebody else, like Anthony Edwards or Victor Wembanyama, take a massive leap and become the best player in the world. But for them to become the best player in the world over Nikola Jokic, they would have to be, I'm not even playing when I say this, one of the 15 greatest players of all time at their best. And maybe even higher, depending on how you are on Jokic. Now, I'm going to leave you with that, right? Because I do have a video dropping on Sunday again, where I kind of bring everything together, and it's, kind of more condensed and more history-wise, and it's not just like me talking over the mic. There's footage, there's, gameplay in the background, maybe a little music. But I want you guys to watch that video. The reason I'm making these 3 parts is to promote that. So I'm trying to, come up with some new experimenting with my YouTube channel to see what helps me grow the most, because being at 450 subs is great, but it's not easy to grow to 500 when people are not watching your videos, right? And if you're taking 3-4 days to make a video and it's only getting 200 views, 300 views, and only like 2 subs out of it, you're better off uploading more recently and more frequently. So that's why I'm making these videos. I would appreciate if you guys subscribe, especially if you're interested more in this case. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you, and I hope you enjoyed.